It's my privilege to bring you the March International update for Operation Mobilisation. And first of all, I want to really thank you, many of you I know, for praying for us at our international leaders meetings, which were held in Bangkok at the end of February. The major subject of the ILM was our relationship with the OM ministry in India. As you know, that work has grown very substantially in recent years and has become a church-based movement. There are now around 3,000 churches in the Good Shepherd Community Church movement in India. This growth and certain difficulties had led to some real struggles, we have to be honest, in our relationship with OM India. And these matters were fully discussed during the ILM, and they were tough days, and your prayers were very much appreciated. But we did manage to come to an agreed conclusion, and I'd like to read that conclusion to you, which shows the present state of the relationship between OM around the world and the ministry in India. This was the statement which was made public at the end of the ILM. Due to the significant growth of OM India's Good Shepherd Community Church movement, OM International and OM India have agreed to enter into an interim 2-year affiliate relationship with Good Shepherd / OM India Ministries, the current name for OM India's group of ministries. This affiliate relationship will allow GSOMI to develop an appropriate and separate governance structure for their transformational church movement while still remaining within the OM family of ministries. GSOMI is no longer under the governance structure of OM International. So you'll draw from that OM India has left the legal governance of OM International and is setting up its own governance structure, and that's based on the ministry now being a church movement. They are taking advice and help from the chairman of our OM UK board, Mike Beardsmore, and the chairman of ICT, the International Coordinating Team Board, John Payne. And I would appreciate your prayers for OM India as they seek to get this governance structure in place. And I'd really appreciate your prayers for us, OM International, and the India leaders, as over the next 12 months particularly, we work on what this affiliate relationship might look like. I think it's a very important time in the development of OM's ministry worldwide, and we'd really appreciate your prayers during these next 12 months. The other big issue at the ILM was the Logos Hope ministry. As you know, this ship is being greatly used of God, and as we got reports from around the OM world, it was very obvious just how significant the ministry of OM ships is. In the past year, of course, she sailed to some of the nations where the Arab Spring, the uprising, has been taking place, Libya, Egypt, and so on, and a number of months in Malaysia as well. And these have been difficult months for the church in Malaysia. And the impact of the ship in both of these areas was very, very clear for all to see. As you know, however, we have some real challenges with the ship ministry. I think the primary challenge is personnel. We are really struggling to find the right engineering staff for OM ships, a longer-term chief engineer and some other senior engineering personnel. I know you've been praying for that for many months. There's some signs of possible breakthroughs, but we'd really appreciate your continued prayers. We also have to see some very significant funds raised in the next few months to get us through an important dry dock, which will take place over the coming months, and then the Power Up project. Just before the ILM, we had the huge news that a donor is ready to give $3 million towards the ship ministry and towards these projects. He wants to give it as a 2-to-1 matching fund. So for every dollar that's given or every pound that's given, he'll give a half. He'll give 50 pence in the pound. Now, if we were able to raise the 6 million, which would release the 3 million from this brother, then that would completely meet our financial needs, both for the dry dock and the Power Up project. So I'm really asking you this month to pray for this possibility, to talk to friends, churches. If over the next weeks, 6, 7 months, you could consider giving to the ship ministry, that would be a huge blessing, and it would kick in this challenge grant from this very generous brother. So those were the two major matters at the ILM. Thank you for praying for us. There were over 330 people, leaders from around the world present. We had some great fellowship, wonderful ministry from a Malaysian Methodist bishop who spoke to us about servant leadership, and that was an enormous blessing to us. There's just one other thing I'd like to mention this month, and that is the first ever OM Arts School of Mission. As you probably know, in the last few years, we've seen an encouraging number of artists coming into Operation Mobilization, some short-term, some longer-term, to use their various artistic skills for the furtherance of the gospel around the world. In our centre in Italy, Forte Rocco Centre, 16 or 17, I think it is, are taking place in the first OM Arts School of Mission. I believe this will be the first of many, and I'd appreciate your prayers for the brothers and sisters there as they work through this during the next 3 months. So, on behalf of 6,100 workers in the OM family of ministries, I'd like to thank you for your prayers for us and encourage you to continue praying for us in the coming months. Speak to you in a month. Thank you very much. God bless you.